Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're on the 6.0 again. So he come out here earlier. Hang on, let me ask him something. Okay, so the truck started fine, but he come out here earlier and tried to put it in the shop, and it wouldn't even start because the batteries were dead. So we gotta go to Damascus. I'm trying to make sure I'm not gonna run nothing over, but we're about to have to run to Damascus. So wanted to get it in here because it's supposed to rain tonight. So got it in here. It's not 10 o'clock at night, but like I said, wanted to get it in here in case it rains. Let the batteries be charging, and then tomorrow we're going to try a couple different things that I was told to try. I posted on the 6.0 forums, and someone mentions the alternators could be bad, or alternator. This truck doesn't have duals, but the alternator could be bad. The Icp sensor could be bad, so we're going to try unplugging it, because that's, from what I've been told, one of them cases where no reading is better than a bad reading. So we're going to try a couple things and see what happens here before we just throw a bunch of parts at it like a lot of people say to do. So I'll catch y'all tomorrow when we come back, and we'll see what we can figure out with this thing. Okay, so we're unplug the sensor. No, battery's dead. Yeah, I agree with what he just said. But the batteries are dead. Keys off. So we're gonna probably just let it charge. If nothing else, might get some new batteries or take them and have them tested. But there we are. I'm gonna go ahead and shut these off. But anyway, it could be the batteries. It's like he mentioned earlier, if it's not getting proper voltage, it could shut everything down. But what we were gonna try is unplug the Icp sensor and see if it stayed running. I've heard Icp, IPR, alternator, H-pop leak, high pressure oil leak, and a couple other things. But another one was fuel pump. It does sound a little different than it used to. So I don't know. I might just be paranoid. But like I said, I guess we'll catch y'all another time. We'll see what we can figure out. Alright guys, so it is now the next day. We let the batteries charge overnight. So just pulled both cables off and tested both batteries individually because they are hooked together, and cleaned the terminals. Now I don't think the terminals were the issue, but cleaned both of them anyway. So going to, my grandpa just run up to the house to grab the key for this. So gonna hook these guys back up and see what it'll do. Last night we did unplug the Icp sensor down in there. I think he unplugged it. Anyway, he unplugged something down there. I'm not 100% sure what is what, but we're gonna hook the batteries back up, like I said, and see what it does with that unplugged. And if it stays running, then I'm gonna say we need a new ICP, and if not, it is probably the IPR valve. So anyway, I'm gonna do this. Finish this up real quick. See what it does. And then we'll go from there. Okay guys, so truck fired right up. I'll put a little clip right here of that. But had my phone sitting on the wheel here, monitoring the gauges and stuff, and was running a little over 13 minutes, and he was wiggling on, see, this wire right here. That is the positive battery cable that ties together to the other side, and as soon as he wiggled that wire, truck died. So what he's doing right now is taking some rubber hose, and we're going to try to insulate it where it goes around the radiator on both sides and see if maybe there's a short somewhere. And also, didn't you mention the other day when you hooked the tester on it, it sparked?
Something sparked.
So that could also be something as well. With it arcing out against either the core support or off of something around the radiator. So we're going to try that, see if it'll restart, and we'll go from there. Alright, let's try to restart after insulating battery cables. Fires right up. So I'm gonna let the truck run, see what it does. He's gonna wiggle around on that wiring a little bit, see what it does. If have no issues, then we'll see about getting a new one or an upgrade kit or something other, and see what it does. I don't see it being an issue the way it is right now, but I don't want this to happen again in the future. He did tape those on so we can drive the truck if that fixes it, but we would probably still want to go ahead and hunt for a new wire to go across. So I'll let the truck sit here and run and see what happens. Okay guys, so after it started, it ran a little bit and died. Fired right back up though, so I don't really know what's the deal with that. He did some messing around with this stuff over here, checking this battery. He unhooked it and load tested it, and it tested fine. Hooked it back up, truck started right back up. Run a minute and died. So what we did is we unplugged the Icp sensor, and the truck fired right back up. So we're gonna let it run, see what it does. Because I've heard with those, a bad reading is worse than no reading at all. So we're gonna let it see what happens, and if that's our case, well, no it's not, it just died. Okay, so it died, got a code for the Icp sensor, and I noticed EGR light keeps flashing, so I don't know if it's an EGR problem or not, but I'll do some looking, see if we can figure out, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, so it's the next day again, and I think that would be Kirk. But Kurt works for my grandpa. He's going to come over and take a look at this. He's got a snap-on scanner we can use for live data. But before I get questions, those are the tires I bought for the white truck. I don't know if they're going to work. We're probably going to get 2 of those mounted, see what it does. Put them on the front, see if they rub or how bad they rub. But yeah, there he is. So he's got his scanner. We're gonna hook up to this thing and see what we can figure out. All right, guys, so it's a couple days later since Kirk come over, and when he was over here, we got the truck started, sitting here running, it died. You know, that's what our issue is. And he reached back down in here. Sorry, y'all can't see that, but he reached down back there and wiggled some wires around the fickum and around the back of the engine, and got it to, basically the RPMs would dip down like it tried to die, and then they come back up. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the fickum off, check the wiring on the fickum itself, and to do that we need to pull the intake out. Probably going to pull it out all the way to the turbo back there. Pull the degas bottle either off or loose. So you have your 2 hoses. You got one here, you got an 8 mil. You have your filter minder that goes on the back of your air filter, and a couple other things. So we're gonna pull all this stuff off. Again, check the wiring around the fickum, see if there's any dirt or anything in the connectors, and go from there. Okay, guys, so what we did was took this hose off the radiator, looped it back around right here, that way it wouldn't leak, and then that gives you access to your fickum. Now you have a bracket, here's the bracket that goes to the air intake, that you can get to better once this is out.
They're all broke.
Yeah, right there, they're broke, so they don't really do much of anything, but just look out for that if you're pulling the fickum off your truck. I mean, then you have 2 studs here, and then you also got 2 studs back there at the back. And I guess now would also be a good time to check the turbo, see if it has any shaft play in it. But the bracket
is good.
So turbo's good, but the bracket sits right on top of here. And like I said, you got 2 nuts at the back of the fickum as well. Okay, guys, so he got the fickum pulled out, as you can see. Now on the fickum you have 3 connectors. You can see here. Now we looked at these pins, all of them look good, but when you're unplugging them, the fickum will be face down like so. And for these connectors, you have safeties on top and bottom, so you'll have to get in there and squeeze them completely together to pull the fickum out. And also, as I learned on a video through Thoroughbred Diesel, you can pull this plate off here with these 2 screws when the fickum's in the truck and test your voltage. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some dielectric grease on these plugs and see if that helps anything, because again, all these in here look good. They don't seem to have any hot spots on them or nothing like that. So we're going to try that, put some dielectric grease on the plugs, put everything back together, and I guess see what happens. Okay, guys, so we got the fickum back in, got everything put back on, check the oil's good, so let's see what she do. started, so I guess that's a plus. So we're gonna let it run and see if it dies out again, and then I guess we'll go from there if it does. If not, probably let it run about 15 minutes or so and let it go. But as you can see here, temps are cold, truck's cold. It's been sitting for probably 5 days now, not being run, but we're gonna see what it does. All right, guys, so we truck started. Y'all seen that? It run just about 5 minutes to the dot and died again. So we took this scanner that Kirk brought over here, scanner here, and was looking everything over, and it completely died. So both batteries is completely dead. So I don't know if we need new batteries or what's the deal. This one shows bad on the load tester, but it's also dead, so I don't know. We're gonna let them charge a little bit and see what they do. Probably load test them and see where they go. When we load test them, we'll probably unhook each battery and test them individually, and again, see what happens. So I'm gonna let these things charge up, and we might end out this video here pretty soon. I imagine it's probably getting pretty long by this time, but anyway, so, you guys noticed did crank over kind of slow. I figure it's because this thing's been sitting for 5 days and it hasn't really been run long enough to charge them back up, but they might just be done did their due. So anyway, we'll let them charge up, do a load test on them, and see what happens. Okay, guys, so we just now tried to start the truck. It's been on the charger about 30 minutes, and it's not having it. So what we're gonna do is we got to take some stuff up to the warehouse where my grandpa works, his computer and stuff, because he's been working from home and he always seems to forget them. So we're gonna take those up there, and we have a friend who's got some batteries that we can borrow to try and see if the batteries are the issue. Because if the batteries are dead, we can't go to a Ford dealer and get new batteries today, because it's Sunday. So, I won't be able tomorrow because the dailies broke. So we're gonna borrow those, throw them on, try it, see what it does. If the new batteries help it, we know we need new batteries. And if it doesn't, well, the batteries aren't the issue, and we'll take them back to him. So anyway, we might also do a alternator charging test as well and see if it's charging while the truck is running. So anyway, we're gonna head up there. Like I said, take that stuff up to the warehouse where my grandpa works. Stop by a friend's house, grab those batteries, and see. They should work. Because that was the same battery I used to have on the white truck. So, should work. But, come back home, throw those on, and we'll see if they work. Alright guys, got the new batteries on. The truck fired right up and cranks very well. So, we're gonna let it sit here and run, see if it dies, and if it does, we got other issues. If it doesn't, if it keeps running I'm gonna say we need new batteries. Because it cranked very quickly with these 2 new batteries in it. So, anyway, we're gonna let it run here, see what it does, and then we'll go from there. Alright, I'll pull it out. Back the truck out. Now we were not getting a bunch of fumes in the shop. We're probably about 7 minutes in right now, and it hasn't died yet. So again, I'm gonna film it, see if we can catch it when it does die. If it does, and maybe we can go from there. Okay.
I shouldn't have done that.
Alright guys, so we're calling it for the night. I got a bunch of stuff we need to do. Get ready for the week. So it looks like tomorrow I'm gonna be vehicleless again. So it is what it is. But it kind of sucks. Going on about 2 weeks here. But anyway, I think the next step is to pull the IPR valve out, check the screen on the IPR, and see if it's clogged or something. We did a live data on the scanner, and everything shows to be okay. You know, we checked voltage to different stuff. The Fickham voltage holds right at 48 volts. The ICP pressure never drops below about 570 psi. And the IPR voltage, or the IPR percentage, never gets above about 22-23%. So I don't know. Like I said, I think next step is to pull the IPR out and check the screen on the bottom, make sure it's not clogged up. But guys, that'll be another video. So if you guys enjoyed this video, or maybe somehow found it helpful, please drop a like and comment down below. Smash that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope everybody has a great day, and hopefully we can get this thing fixed pretty soon. So anyway guys, I'll catch y'all on the next one.
Rev it up, see if it goes up.